Neville takes charge. Do you know what? Said Thomas. What? Grunted Hank. Do you know what? Silly, said Hank. Of course I don't know what. But while I don't know what, you don't tell me. What it is, said Thomas. The new harbour is so much hard work for everyone, and so the Fat Controller is getting a new big engine to help do the work, he said. Rubbish, said Henry. Any engine can do it. If you work or chat, this yard will be a disment and a happy as time as ever, he said. Thomas took no notice and puffed away to find some coaches. Thomas was shunting his coaches and went on the same size track where Ferdinand's tender crashed into Smelly, but Smelly is mended and tended and fixed up again and happily once again working on his branch line. Later this afternoon, he was tired and unhappy. And kept thinking about how bossy the three big engines are. They're always ordering me about, he said. I'll show them. But he didn't know why. But he didn't know what to do. He arrived at the station, and there was the Fat Controller. Hello, Thomas, he said. You look tired. I am, sir, said Thomas warmly. I don't know if I'm standing on my dome or my wheels. You look like the way out up to me, laughed the Fat Controller. Cheer up, the new engine is bigger than you, and he might probably want to do the work himself. Would you like to build my new yard? Stanley and Ferdinand will help. Oh yes, sir, thank you, sir, said Thomas and puffed away. At last the new engine arrived. What's your name? Asked the Fat Controller. My name is Neville, but when I first came to my old railway, all the engines used to call me Never. But it's not really called Never, sir, but I like being called Neville. Good, said the Fat Controller. Neville it shall be. And at last Thomas arrived. Here, Thomas, he said, show Neville around. And Neville was excited, so was Thomas, and they were doing their own work. They've enjoyed doing the job, and they started having no time to fussle about. Soon Donald, Henry, and Hank watched Neville quietly do his work. His body's the same size as a diesel, said Hank, but he looks like some gay engine, said Henry. We'll have some fun, said Donald, and order him about. Whee! Smoke billowed everywhere. 15 hours later, Thomas was cross. Neville took no notice. They'll get tired of it soon, he said. They always tell you to do things you don't want to. Yes, they do, said Thomas. Now what we need is to teach them a lesson back, and they won't pick on us for long. Neville had an idea. He whispered it to Thomas. Right, said Thomas. We'll do it later. And the two friends puffed away. For 13 minutes later, the Fat Controller was in its office having some hot crust buns for tea. Soon he heard an extraordinary noise. Whee! and it was loud noise, and they were all growling, and it was coming from the sheds. "Bother," said the Fat Controller, and hurried to the yards. Soon all the engines were argued about. Neville started to watch Thomas argue with the big engines. They were all cross. "Stop that noise!" bellowed the Fat Controller. "They won't let us in," grumbled Hank. "Neville," said the Fat Controller, "explain this behaviour," he said. "Well, beg pardon, sir," said Neville, but these engines keep bossing us around. So please, I wish you will take orders from these three little tender engines." "Silence!" snapped the Fat Controller, and then he spoke severely to Thomas and Neville. "Thomas and Neville," he said, "I am pleased with your work today, but not with your behaviour tonight," he said. They were all embarrassed. "As for you three," murmured the Fat Controller to the three engines, "you've been worse. You made the disturbance. Neville is quite right. This is my railway, and I give the orders. And this is my railway, and I give the orders," he said. The three engines squirmed and crossed. Thomas was glad that Neville would be able to tell the truth, and finally they will be able to do their own job at the next day. After when yesterday was over, Thomas would be able to help Stanley and Ferdinand with their work, and the three tender engines never dare boss everyone around, and while they were stopping this while they were stopped being bossier to the other engines, they realised that Neville, the new engine, was left to manage alone. He did say so, and was really useful indeed, except the three engines. They know what they've done. They shouldn't have caused the disturbance, and with that, Neville and Thomas were happy never to be bossed around by the three mighty tender engines again, and finally Neville will do his work on his own.